Welcome inside Pechanga Arena, San Diego. It's another Sunday Soccer's match night, and tonight, Solas de Sonora in town for the first of two meetings here in the month of December. Alongside Data Barea, Craig Elston on hand with you. The San Diego Sockers on Friday night faced the Ontario Fury for the first time this year, delivered a 4-2 victory, and Nate, defense has been the key ever since the season opener. The goals have been going down in terms of scored against, only 5 in the last 2 games.
And it's what the coaching staff and the captains, the leadership of this team preached all week long. And Brian Farber said it in a post-game interview to yours truly the other night, saying that 2-week break that the Sockers had after those openers, that was all they did, really. They knew that the goals and assists would come around. They needed to hammer things out defensively, and that's what they've done, and hopefully it continues.
Well, one of the things the Sockers knew coming into the year, they had the defending goalkeeper of the year. They wanted to give him a chance to have some load management during the season. Enter Diego Arriaga, ex of RGV. He will get his first start as a Socker tonight.
Well, this is why he was brought in, to give Boris a little bit of, call it load management, call it beauty rest, call it whatever you want. Boris doesn't have to play every minute of every game for the Sockers to be a championship caliber team. That's a big deal. That's really good for Boris Pardo, and that's good for the Sockers. It's also really good for Arriaga, and I'm happy that he's getting his debut tonight.
Both teams playing their second game this weekend. Solas lost 6-5 to the Cal Turlock Express on Friday night. Turlock now out to 3-1. Sockers trying to match them. It's a younger Solas team than we saw in previous years, and Enrique Cañez brings the experience to the side.
Yeah, Cañez brings the experience, and I'll tell you what, that badge alone brings a little bit of experience. I'm glad to see this team back in the league. These two sides have shared some battles over the last few years, and we'll see where this one ranks. The Sockers a bit more heavily favored than in years past, but I think the Soles are going to give them a run for their money early, and we'll see if the Sockers can pull away late.
Pre-game notes, starting lineup, and we'll bring you the kickoff next on MASL TV.
Tequila. Treat yourself to the finer things in life.
From the broadcast booth at Pechanga Arena, San Diego, we welcome you inside now as we get ready for the San Diego Sockers and the Solas de Sonora. The Sockers starting lineup being introduced as we speak. Light effects making the field come to life. And in just a moment, we will present for you the national anthems for both Mexico and the United States.
By honoring an enlisted member or a veteran at all home matches this season. Tonight we welcome Juan Hidalgo Jr. He is a distinguished U.S. Marine Corps veteran who served for 31 years and is retiring as a sergeant major. Currently, he works with the Navy service to our country. Fans, one more round of applause, please, for Juan Hidalgo Jr. Juan, we thank you for your service and dedication for our nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and kindly remove your hats. And now, as we honor both of these great nations and armed forces of both countries serving at home and around the world, please welcome to midfield this evening, Coral McFarland Tuitt, as she performs the national anthem of Mexico. Once again, fans, Coral McFarland Tuitt with the national anthem of Mexico. And now, fans, we ask that you please remain standing as we honor America and those defending our freedom at home and around the world. Please welcome to midfield at this time, Emily Zobel, as she performs the Star-Spangled Banner.
Two tremendous renditions, two wonderful national anthems, two great countries coming together in battle today as the San Diego Sockers get ready to take on Soles de Sonora. Greg Elston, Nate Abarea here with you this evening up at the top row of the north side of Pechanga Arena, San Diego. That's two of our broadcast crew. Let's welcome in our third down on the field, our sideline reporter. Let's say hello to Melissa May.
Between the Sockers and the Fury last Friday, for the first time since 2017, Sockers' Craig Childs and Brandon Escoto were scoreless, which goes to show the depth of the Sockers offense this year, still getting that 4-2 win over the Fury. But look for number 19 and 37. They're very eager to score against Sonora tonight. Back to you, Craig and Nate.
Thank you so much, Melissa. And it's true, Nate. I went back and did the research on this. The Sockers had a bizarre 3-game stretch in March of 2017 when Childs and Escoto went scoreless 3 games in a row. The last of those being against Sonora, a 7-3 loss here. I believe it was March 17th of 2017. And before that, there was a 1-0 win over the Fury. They went scoreless, and they went scoreless the game before that. But the very idea of Childs and Escoto being scoreless in multiple games, it actually hadn't happened for almost 3 years until last Friday.
Well, first off, a tip of my cap to you, Mr. Elston. As you said on commentary on Friday night, I wonder when the last time that happened was, and you actually went back and found out yourself. You didn't depend on anyone else to get it done. You went and did the research yourself. Yeah, it's been quite a while since that happened, and I love that the Sockers still got the win, and it really was all about defense. So fitting, I guess it kind of added up that the one night that they didn't score was the night they also only gave up 2 goals. And the night they had a goose egg on the board for the opposition until 51 minutes into the game. So you can't depend on getting it done when your top 2 scorers and your top 2 scoring stars aren't doing what they do best. But it's all about the defense of late for this San Diego team, and we'll see what Escoto and Childs can bring tonight. We'll see what Leo and Slavica Uba-Peripovic can bring tonight, but also anxious to see if this defensive unit can carry on the momentum that they've built from back on Friday night.
3 changes to the Sockers lineup from Friday, the most notable being in net, where Diego Arriaga is good to go for his first start as a San Diego Socker. The 31-year-old Mexico City veteran, last year 20 starts with Rio Grande Valley, 15, 3-2, a 4.26 goals against, a 737 save percentage that was, I believe, basically identical to Boris Pardo. Might have been 4 ticks better. So Arriaga is in, making his first start of the year. The 30-year-old veteran out of Denver and San Diego State, Raimundo Reza, he will start in the defensive backfield. And Taylor Bond is back playing a second forward position tonight for the San Diego Sockers, who are in their home blues, melting into gold down the midriff with blue shorts, yellow trim, yellow socks that will run right to left across your screens as we bring you the action from the north side of Pechanga Arena, San Diego, in their road whites, trimmed in red, white socks. Soles de Sonora and their goalkeeper, Angel Rubalcava, 1-3 with an 837 goals against and a save percentage that he won't be writing home about right now at 484. Childs and Escoto, as mentioned in Melissa's hit, they are on the field to start the match, along with Pollo, Peewee, Pino, and Arriaga. 15 minutes on the clock, quarter 1, ready to commence from San Diego and down to Hermosillo, as they have a delay of unknown origin right now. The referees in the box are huddled. They've determined that this is the time to start the game, but there's a question being asked of the San Diego Sockers bench. And in fact, and I know what it is, my friend, Escoto was not listed as a starter, Brian Farber was. And they just made that important change. That would be a card on the Sockers if they started the lineup they didn't submit. Get out here, Farbs. We got a game to go. Sockers and Soles, comenzamos from San Diego, California. First of 3 meetings between these 2 clubs this year. December 29th, Star Wars night. Soles will be here, and the Sockers will visit on February 5th. That'll be part of the trip of death, Nate. 4 games in 6 days, going from Nuevo Leon to a back-to-back to Sonora, then flying to Florida to play Orlando on Thursday and the currently 4-0 Florida Tropics.
My goodness.
Shout out Gordy Gerson, Drew Ruggles and friends on a Saturday. So that's going to be a true tester in February.
I was going to say a daunting 2-country road trip.
Here's Pollo with a chance. Cuts to the left, loses his defender. Shot blocked by the back man. And the counter is underway and quickly stunted with a foul call.
That daunting 2-country road trip, actually a 3-country road trip. I forgot they were going to Florida.
I appreciate that you did not have that loaded and ready to go. You came up with it spontaneously.
That's what it's all about.
First minute underway. And complete. Second minute underway. No score yet. Sockers and Soles. Here's Arriaga. Nice distribution. Childs turns it into a mild header. And Rubalcaba quickly out with the throw out. Aguirre being pressured on the wall, being beaten on the wall. Arriaga's first save as a Soccer. Some high pressure shown by Soles after that shot by Jose Antonio Cruz.
It's a lovely turn down there by Cruz as well. Getting up those boards on that left side. You're getting a decent shot into the paws. The Sockers netminder making his debut.
When last we saw Soles in town, they were one of the true solid teams in the MASL. Here's, speaking of solid, the man who stole the show on Friday, Leo. Cerda sends it sailing high. I think he was aiming for the head of Taylor Bond. And that one just a little bit off in the angle. But those Soles teams, Nate, were populated by guys like Iran Poyo Ruiz, Ray Contreras, Frank Tayu. And you could continue down the list. Several of the guys in Monterrey right now are former Soles. So this is a younger, newer team. It's finding its way. It's been competitive in that little bandbox down in Hermosillo that they play at, the Centro de Usos Múltiplos. But so far on the road, it's been a challenge for Sonora. We'll see if tonight holds or if the Sockers have another game that is competitive to the 60th minute. Taylor Bond battling defensively, doing the dirty work. That ball squirted out to Aragon and then was shot high by Javier Pereras. 12:25 clock stop first quarter. No score as Arriaga has the rollout. Diego Arriaga, I tell you what a positive personality the Sockers have brought into this clubhouse, Nate. And a young man who's learning his English. So he and I really have a shared passion because I think he's about around the same level learning his English as I am learning my Spanish. So we always have these bilingual chats, but he is a true friendly guy, big competitor on the field. Not a big man, just 5'7". That's the difference between he and Pardo. As that one skies out of play. And this is a night off for Pardo. Unlike Arriaga, who you've noted has been a great hype man on the bench, I do not see Boris on the bench right now.
No, I don't want to think about any kind of bad what-ifs, but if the Sockers were to need another goalie, I wonder who it would be.
Top of the arc for the Sox. And the dummy, the shot. Nice near post save of Escoto by Rubalcaba.
Fine save. He's held his ground, really.
Yeah, that was an interesting play, well designed, as Farber faked up on it.
Really like those designs, and the Sockers were so good last year. The ingenuity, the design on those set piece plays.
A couple of things to notice as keys tonight. One of them is, can the Sockers get on the power play? They're 2 for 2 this year, Nate, but they've played 3 matches and only had 2 power plays. You're used to the Sockers getting 2 a game. Escoto, nice feathery touch off the wall, but he was dispossessed, and Childs could not reach it. Rubalcaba looking to counterattack with a lovely throw out. He's accomplished the task. I believe is Avendaño, who is down for Sonora, and they'll have the free kick.
Yeah, we'll see the replay down here in the corner. As Pino squared up with them, and just a little bit of the hand check, a little bit of the push, certainly a little bit of the sell of the foul,
yes,
but
sir.
A foul nonetheless.
Here's Cruz, Jose Antonio Cruz.
A cagey opening 4 minutes to this game, Craig, and
not much happening so far.
Excited to see things open up in this game.
Here's a chance for it as Pino finds Cerda on the run with Pittman. And the cross pass was knocked down. Second chance. It's Farber working between 2 men. Now he's at the mid wall. Brian Farber is brought down, is spun back up. Looked like a weeble wobble there.
Farber just bouncing off the walls and off of opposition players. Decent start here from the lads from Hermosillo.
Got to agree with you, my friend. Here's the distribution in, easily read and knocked down by Cerda. Miller was the man on the try. Ooh. Stepping over Pino, and then the easy call there. Nope, no call. Thought I heard a whistle.
Thought I did as well, and might have actually been one of those ones where had contact been made, a foul surely would have been called, but because Pino went around the contact, no whistle ever came.
Cruz. And as that one hits the wall, Leo finds his way to the ball. Leonardo de Oliveira. Looks like he has magnets on his feet.
Smooth. So smooth.
Aguirre. And it's not true with every player. That's how you know the true skill, right, Nate? I mean, you see some guys, it looks like they have magnets on their feet, but reverse polarity. Leo, balls on a string, like this, in a double team. The only guy who could get it out to a teammate, pretty much. Boyo, a half step away, but the Escoto reaching out touch allowed this ball back to Aguirre. Let's see if the Sockers can get something out of it. 9.5 left in the scoreless first quarter. Escoto's drawn a double team, has no support around him. Flies in a heap, hoping to draw a whistle that did not come.
He got just kind of knocked to the floor there, and I'll tell you what, from what I've seen early on this season, going back to that Turlock game and watching the Tacoma match from afar on Friday night against Ontario. I'll get back to that in a second, because here's Escoto.
To Childs. The overlapping run is Pollo. He'll send it back to reset with Aguirre, and now here's Pee Wee. Childs turning to his left. The ball got away from him. Pee Wee Ortega, by the way, 6 blocked shots recorded Friday night, which is the most total I remember, at least in the last 2 years, for the San Diego Sockers.
As Escoto jogs off to the bench right there, that's a player I'd love to see, and I know a lot of people would love to see get back into form, but those double teams are coming almost every time he touches the ball, no matter who the opponent is. I don't care if they're from Hermosillo, Florida, or Central California. When Escoto's on the ball, it seems like a double team goes his way every last time. And the little genius that he showed off to be last year, it's going to take an extra level this year because the defenses are ready for him.
Here's Childs trying to send one on the run to Bond, and Bond was ahead of the play. Now a lovely ball rolled out. Opportunity for Murillo. Brings it to left wing. Just wide on the shot with an open opportunity. Murillo, second bite of the cherry. Hits the crossbar there. Tremendous chance, and Solis should have had one. Here's Rosales, the veteran. His shot blocked by Aguirre.
Oh, man.
And it one hops out of play.
2 agonizing misses for the price of 1 there.
Manuel Aragon, who has 5 goals this year. Number 89. For Solis on both of those shots, just wide. It'll take a minute for us, guys, in that the numbers on the shorts for Solis are one of the smallest I've seen. So if their numbers aren't turned to us, it's going to take a minute. But we want to remind you to take a minute to think about coming on out next Sunday. This, by the way, being the first of 4 consecutive Sunday home games for the San Diego Sockers. And Sundays are for football, including the Sockers annual holiday game. Next Sunday, December 22nd, when the Tacoma Stars make their first trip to Pechanga Arena, San Diego. 5 o'clock kickoff once again. Enjoy the sounds of the season. Organist Bobby Cressy will make his season debut for us and have all the tunes for you to sing along with. We'll have Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus here for picture opportunities for the kids. And I'm telling you, folks, this is the stocking stuffer that anyone in the family would appreciate. The Sockers trading card set created by Travis Peterson is the best giveaway we've done in years. The detail of these cards, the quality of the pictures, the card stock, the little cartoons on the back, it's going to bring back childhood memories, and you'll get them only here while supplies last. The first of 2 sets. You and I have a card in the second set, Nader.
I can't wait to see that. I love hearing from everyone talking about how seeing these cards has them hearkening back to late 80s baseball cards.
Yes.
And kind of that glory day of the packs with the bubble gum in them and old 80s baseball cards, which I actually grew up with in the early 2000s because my dad was cheap and poor and would take me to the record shop where they would have 75-cent late 80s baseball cards.
There you go.
Didn't spend $5, $10 on those new packs from the early 2000s. No, I grew up with the retro. So I'm excited to see these because they have me hearkening back to my childhood, which was actually 15 years later. But it all ties together.
Come on out, 866-799-GOAL, Sockers.com. Craig Childs has walked off. We've been noted from downstairs from our TVX crew. And that's something to put a note in on the old scorebook as well. With 7:51 left in the first quarter, Childs off to seek further attention. Shot blocked by Brian Farber.
My goodness.
Well, that's going to bring a shift in the lineup as Farber draws a whistle against himself.
Because Farber was on a mission there when I made that groan there from the beginning of that set piece. Farber just took one off either the shoulder or neck or head area, maybe
Good
a kind
call.
of combo of all three, and then just barged forward saying, if I'm going to take a shot like that, someone else is going to get one too, or I'm going to win the ball and go the other way.
It'll be very interesting to see who takes the regular second shift with Leo at forward with Childs off the
Right.
floor. Eduardo Velez may get a little bit more playing time than he counted for, our Soccer's overtime guest. More
I'm
on that
thinking
later.
Eddie.
Leo, stolen.
Oh, look.
Rosales is making the run. Rosales then lost his balance, but Reza gets clipped for the foul.
Looked like it was actually almost Reza taking over for Leo there, and see chasing back. Always knowing those swim moves forward.
I think if Rosales hadn't lost his balance, there would have been no whistle. Play on after this little bit of rough and tumble with Cañez and Escoto. 7 minutes left in a weird first quarter. Long to Leo. Looking for Escoto, and the geometry didn't work out by about a half of a ball's length.
Good vision, good thought. Audacious, certainly, but it almost came off.
I think there's a very low energy start here for San Diego.
There's also just been a good start from Sonora in the sense of doing kind of what the Sockers did to Ontario the other night.
Avendaño. That's Jesus Alberto Avendaño. Stolen by Pee-wee. On the run on the counter. It's Escoto working the middle. As he drew two, Pee-wee's got the shot, and he hits left post. Look to sneak it in. He gets it back. Feeds out. Pollo missed. Two great chances. That one partially interrupted by Escoto running through the passing lane of Pollo. Interesting.
Yeah, next stoppage in play, I want to get to something else about Escoto here as he gets knocked off it by another double team.
There it is. Effective by Soles. Their head coach Walter Palacios is all over it.
Well, there's your stoppage, and I want to actually go back to something really positive about Brandon Escoto in all this buildup, and there it was right there. How that whole attack started was that double team being drawn to Escoto as he's playing centrally. So you throw to me who should take that center forward playing time if Childs is out. Shift it up. Get Escoto central. I want to see what Brandon Escoto could do as a central player. I don't know how much of it we're going to see, but there was a glimpse of it, and it created the best scoring opportunity the Sox have had all night.
As we watch that Calafino replay, here's Velez. He puts it in. Eddie Velez, El Vaquero, looking for the sombrero or maybe a beanie dance as Eddie's got the Sockers on the board.
And you see him in on the right foot here.
Oh,
Gets
bringing the baby down.
Tucks it near post. And how about this for a goal celebration? Brilliant. Play with his back, maybe a bit fortunate with the bounce there, but he tucks it near post. And we have a baby on the field.
There is a child on the field.
And
oh my gosh,
now
this
there's
is
a
an
sombrero
extended celebration, Eddie.
for the baby.
Barreras had to just watch that happen.
I'm just watching it happen.
Eddie has his first of the year. What I was about to say before the goal interrupted was that Rubalcava made a save on Pee-wee. We saw it on our Calafino replay. He got a touch of the ball, and that would have been a goal. But here, Eddie makes that goal. Same kind of situation. Two v 2, becoming 2v1 quickly. The speed of Solis. The shot! Punched down by Diego. And Arriaga comes out for a hustling clearance. Brilliant by the Mexico City native. 5 minutes left in the first. 1-0 Sockers on the Velez goal. Here's the man with the speed, Cruz. His shot blocked out of play by Serra.
Would have been quite the response here from Solis going end to end. Driving up that right side and forcing a decent save there. In the end of it, again, kind of just standing his ground, actually. I'm sure Cruz would have liked to have gone low and hard to a corner.
What impressed me more, honestly, was the commitment of Arriaga at the moment when he saw two players coming up and the ball squirting past his defender.
Yeah.
And here once again, showing he'll be aggressive out of the net, too aggressive. It's going to not lead to a goal, shockingly. Barreras missed.
Still not out of the woods yet.
Now we'll send to the middle. Aragon wide. Second chance. Off the post and cross. No, it's in. Wow.
Oh,
so hard it
Craig.
went in and out.
Oh, Craig, that was in and then in some more.
My goodness.
That was a hit. That is as clean of a hit as you're gonna catch.
Wow.
On any soccer field, in any arena, indoor, outdoor, on the beach, playing futsal, I don't care. Give me this hit one more time, guys. Give me this off the wall, right here. And it's Cruz coming through.
Oh, my gosh.
With the right foot. Woo! Okay, 1-0.
That's impressive. That went so fast, I thought I hit the crossbar. That's
Jose
incredible.
Antonio Cruz. Oh, man.
Wow.
It just, if you've ever played the game, and as we see the foul called here, and
I think we got a card.
We got a card.
do. Blue card out on Escoto. First penalty in 2 games this weekend and it's against the San Diego Sockers.
so the Sockers still haven't gotten on the power play, as you spotlighted. Only 2 power plays in 3 full games, and now almost 3 1/4. And it looks like they're not going to have one this quarter, barring something crazy in the last couple of minutes, and it's going to be all about killing one off here.
From the moment since Eddie put on that show, Solis have been on fire.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that one caused the other. I'm noting that Sonora has been on fire the last minute.
I'm not saying it didn't.
4 minutes left in the first quarter. This power play will count down either to 2:11 remaining on the clock or to a Solis goal that could give them the lead. Off the wall, and it does! Wallace Scora, perfectly executed. Enrique Cañas puts it home for his 6th of the year, and Sonora's on top 2-1.
Just like that. Back in a snap, and it was beautiful. It's exactly what he meant. And after scoring the first with that thunderbolt just moments ago, it was Jose Antonio Cruz over here on this near side setting up this goal with a great piece of vision and some sneaky play in front of goal to give Solis the lead. 2-1.
The Suns on top, and the defense there, a lot to be desired. Boyo saw a man sneak right past him, Cañas, to be available for the point blank, the indoor soccer version of the slam dunk.
Antonio Cruz, Armenta.
So, Cruz, goal and assist. And since the Velez show now for a minute and 20 seconds, Solis has been on fire. 2 goals, 1 penalty, and the Sockers have themselves a match tonight. Aragon. Out of the back to Angel Rubalcava. And Farber, lovely to bring that one out of the air. Consider the flexibility needed.
That worked.
I've seen prominent players hurt themselves trying such a move. This is the ball from Pollo looking for Leo. In the corner, Leonardo de Oliveira draws an instant double team. Comes out of it, draws a second double team. Now it's Aguirre. Emmanuel Aguirre. Back to Reza. 2-1 Solis with the lead first quarter. Leo back heels to keep the play moving to Reza. Solis very aggressive on help. And we'll see if the Sockers can make an adjustment to that. Because we talk about the constant double teams on Escoto, Nate. Very well assessed. They're kind of double teaming the ball all the time. Bringing that pressure. It's working right now. Here's Avendaño. Jesus Alberto Avendaño. Two minutes left in the first. And the Sockers have played great for about a minute of it.
Well, the deep end doing everything they can. Behind that goal, currently occupied by Diego Arriaga. We'll see if in the second quarter they can do what they can to help pull a goal in.
In the air, Arriaga has it, hugging the wall. Out to Pollo quickly. Now, searching to find the ball was Aguirre, and that killed the counter. Aguirre looks to beat his man, takes him on, and gets beaten instead as Cruz takes it away. Jose Antonio Cruz has had himself a heck of a quarter. He's called for the foul here in the air.
And we'll see it here. Oh, it's just kind of coming through the back there.
Yeah, elbow into the back. Here comes the pressure. That was Gustavo Rosales, the veteran, surging in. Nice stop and go. Rosales is behind. This lefty shot is blocked, headed to the wall into blue shirts. Slav, who's had a quiet quarter, digs it out of the floor to Escoto. Escoto coming in with options. Tiptoes, shoots, and it's blocked. Slav behind the ball betrayed him. And Rosales rolling it out to Cañas. Enrique Cañas gave the Solis the lead. 41 seconds left in the first quarter. Rosales backing it up.
And just continuing to back it up there.
Trying to spread out San Diego's defense. This one headed into the air. It gently nestles into the right corner. And there's Pee Wee doing the dirty work in the corners again. Luis Pee Wee Ortega smartly gets it out, heads the ball forward. He's going to lose it to Solis, but got it out of danger. And with 10 seconds left, that is not nothing at all. Pee Wee Ortega continues to impress. Now he's deep in the play. Last second, looking for Barrera's back post. Cañas settles. Cañas shoots high with 1.1 on the clock.
It's always off balance. Swung at it wildly in the end. That's going to do it for the first quarter, Craig. And said it was a good quarter for Solis after 5 minutes. How about after 15?
Solis surprises. They answer immediately after the Eddie Velez goal with 2 of their own and have a 2-1 lead after 15 minutes complete from Pechanga Arena, San Diego. This is the San Diego Sockers and Solis de Sonora second quarter action after this timeout on MASL TV.
Treat yourself to the finer things in life. Your team. The perfect fit. The game ball. Are you ready? Soccer Loco. Next level performance.
All right, yeah, thanks, for sure, I'll be there. Hey, wait, hold on. I'm running by the field right now. You're never gonna guess. Dude, Medina's here. I think he's training for a comeback to the Sockers.
What are you talking about? Medina? He retired 2 years ago. He's too old, bro.
Oh, dude. You're right, bro. He's too old. Okay, so that barbecue, yeah.
Don't wait for the ring. Call your Cairo today.
Dr. Corey's office, how can we help you?
Oh, I got this. Let's get him in.
Okay, sounds good, Mr. Medina. We'll see you shortly.
Remember, fans, you can stay connected to the Sockers all season long with Sockers Overtime, the podcast that gives you an inside look at the San Diego Sockers. Host Craig Elston and some guy named Nate Abarea bring you weekly recaps, previews, exclusive inside info, interviews, and more. Presented by Three Punk Ales Brewing in Chula Vista. Subscribe to Sockers Overtime on your phone today, wherever you get your pods. Back to Craig for play-by-play.
Second quarter underway. Two teams flip sides. Sockers now attacking the western goal, running left to right. Soles, 2 quick goals after Eddie Velez put his first of the year on the board at 9:24. It was Jose Antonio Cruz from Manuel Aragon on a absolute bullet. As Nate said, a beautiful goal. Now let's see if the Sockers can answer. It's forward to Eddie from Pollo. Velez will turn and shoot. He just missed the angle, aiming for that upper right corner. Pollo dropped and fouled by Cruz. Enrique Cañez from Cruz on the power play after an Escoto blue card whistled against him for dangerous play. That was the official call, by the way, on the Escoto penalty. Restart for San Diego next to the Soccer Loco logo on right angle. Pollo will send it out straight and high to Pino. Serra now sizing up the competition and going on the move. Off the wall, looking for Farber, finding Velez. Pinball back to Eddie. High. Here's one chipped. Farber, point blank. Rubalcava made the save. And back to Soles with the first minute off the second quarter clock. I take it back. It's a set piece from the corner. And it's going to be Slav just bringing it across. Escoto looked in wonder, saying, was that for you, Leo? I'm not sure. Trying to get the steal was Pee Wee. Now the Sockers have 3 behind the play. Barreras will slow it up, and that helps San Diego a lot. Dorame sends it to the right wing near the boards. Just in front of the Sockers logo, Rubalcava will play up a little bit. Sonora very composed so far. And I've watched most of their first 4 matches, and this is some impressive play since the opener. I hadn't seen this level. Here's Escoto.
Very calm. That's the right way to put it. Good energy.
Here's a steal. Escoto read the angle well. Leo in the corner. Leo off the wall. Oh. Almost an own goal. Barreras under pressure whizzed past Pollo.
Really well done.
And then dispatched with Escoto.
He had Escoto riding him the whole way, so the foul on Escoto there.
Brandon having a rough start to the match.
See on the way, it's Escoto getting called for kind of swiping at him there.
Sockers called for delay there.
Delay a game warning.
That's something that could pop up later. Leo spinning in the defensive zone. Pollo settles a twisting ball down. Now Diego with the ball at his feet. Arriaga sends it forward. Escoto on the run and hit the official. Very unfortunate. Pollo heads it to himself. New chance. Iran Pollo Ruiz back to Leo. Leo stop and go. Spin and face. He'll send it back out. It's Aguirre. Emmanuel Aguirre's shot is blocked out of play. Like to repeat and note that Craig Childs left the floor with 7:51 left in the first quarter and has not returned as of yet.
Yeah, and the Sockers, I'm not going to say there's a direct correlation to that, but the energy's been somewhat lacking since Childs has left.
Here's Pee Wee. Pee Wee trying to get it back to Escoto. He got muscled down. Pee Wee digs in and finds the ball in the zone. It's bouncing in the air, and it's shouldered down gently by Alejandro Leyva.
Yeah.
Now out of play.
Solis ball over there. And look, I'm not saying that the team revolves around Craig Childs. There's plenty of players within this team capable of picking up the slack in play, but as far as that leadership goes, as far as that attitude, that veteran experience, you got a guy like Brian Farber out, you got plenty of other veterans in the squad, but it's telling when they're without Craig Childs, and you feel it. You can feel it from all the way up in the back row in the commentary gantry. You can feel the absence of Craig Childs, and you can't say that about every player. A new guy fills in. Childs is gone, you just feel it.
Here's Bond, player that you'll see more up top with Childs out.
There's one of the answers to that question you posed earlier, certainly.
I think he's now in that third forward role with Eddie in the second. Slavica Karapovic. He says Slavica is fine. I think if you're speaking the native tongue, you say Slavica. But in America, he thinks, just call me Slav. 4th minute off the clock, second quarter. 2-1 Solis. In the air is Slav. Heading this one down. Bond making space for a bouncing ball. He got a touch on it and hit the crossbar. What effort by Taylor Bond, and he wins the ball back. Arriaga. Surveying and sending it back is Aguirre. They were teammates at RGV last year. This one deflected down by Leo. Again, the insane ball control of De Oliveira. Over to Cerda. 10.5 in the half. 2-1 Solis holding this lead now for about 9 minutes. Farber tiptoes it back. It's Pollo. The weave is on. Lovely back heel. Step and go. And Aguirre shot blocked up for a corner. Leo will get over to the dot on the left side of the attacking zone with Pee Wee. Sockers looking for something to spark their Sunday night. Pee Wee sends it out high. It's a Escoto. He got taken off the ball. The chip try. Almost got there. My goodness, the audacity of hope denied, but really close. Wow. Christian Gutierrez would have lost his crown in the league for best long-range chip. And Arriaga was helpless to the result at one point. Just looking and hoping. Here's Leo.
Lovely.
How about Leo spinning and cutting?
Lovely.
To the corner. And sent in hard. Oh no. Pee Wee gets crushed. The card's coming up. What color will it be? It's blue.
Yeah, we're going to see here certainly a foul. And thankfully,
that's dangerous.
That's the last foul there, and the momentum of the challenge engine in with the right foot is what goes in for the ball. It's the momentum that carries Pee Wee into the boards from the Sonora player, Aragon. It's a tough one there.
I frankly think that could have been a red. That was a very dangerous play, dealing with a head contact to the wall. So Aragon gets the blue. 2 for 2 on the year. We talked about the Sockers getting on the power play. We didn't mean like that. But in the second quarter, the Sockers get the man advantage. Now, who has been the longtime captain of the power play? It's Craig Childs. And he is watching from the locker room right now. And we'll see how that adjustment occurs as Pee Wee's out there. His shot blocked down, and it's Slav, who is now going to captain the unit. Slav! Oh, my goodness!
They're saying it went in.
He got it, says the official. Let's see.
Well, the Sockers the other night were rather fortunate against Ontario.
No,
I don't think that ever went in.
That's not a goal.
That never went in.
That's not a goal.
And are we going to get correction now? Correction on the field.
They've overturned it themselves. That is
the right call. The right call has been made.
No, it was a fearsome drive, but it was not a goal.
They hit both posts, or crossbar and post there. Impossible, seemingly, for it to not go in. What a goal it would have been for Slaviša Upaparapovic.
My goodness, that shot. He's got one of the most predatory shots with the left foot, the curve. Pollo. There's 1:21 on this Sockers power play. Whistling off the board, Slav had to turn to play it and back up as a result. Leo drifts out to the right wing. It's going to go left. It's going to go to Pollo. He gets the crossbar too. Ding dong, no goal. Pee Wee. Pollo. Try again, Leo. Leo back to Pollo. This is the one. He hit the crossbar again. Oh. You couldn't do it if you tried.
They're knocking at the door. They're ringing the doorbell. And perhaps it's just time to kick the darn thing in. Because as Leo nutmegs the defender and lays that back to Iran Pollo Ruiz, the ball hits the bar again, and that would have been a highlight reel level goal. That nutmeg assist from Leo, but it was not to be. Sockers still on the power play.
Another 42 seconds.
It's the longest power play of all time.
Trying to break the goal. Hasn't happened yet. Slav. Leo, either player could have taken that pass. Leo curves it. Don't know if he was anticipating a run there or just trying to get it over to Pollo. 21 seconds on the man advantage. Slav has Escoto on the back post. Lifted in the air. Pollo! Golazo! Oh my! ¡Qué jugador tan fuerte! ¡Disparo!
Catch one cleaner than that. I dare you.
Sockers are 3 for 3 on the power play this year and are tied at 2 as Pollo tries to break a back post at last after they keep trying to break the crossbar.
And hey, eat your heart out, Jose Antonio Cruz. Talked about him hitting one as hard as he could. But what a goal there for the Sockers.
We take a break, tied at 2.
Galifino Tequila. Treat yourself to the finer things in life.
After knocking on the door, Iram Pollo Ruiz broke it down with a rocket shot into the back right post to forge a 2-2 tie here at Pechanga Arena, San Diego. Craig Elston, Nate Abarrea, our TVX video crew, Melissa May, our sideline reporter. 7:53 left in the half. And a goal to remember from Iram Pollo Ruiz right there. Now, how will the Sockers respond? This one headed to Diego Arriaga. Slav surveys. This is Eddie Velez keeping the ball moving over to Pittman. Leo will get the assist here. Here comes Eddie, stop and go. Puts it to the middle. Slav trying for the slam. And as it settled down by Sereda, the Sockers seem to have found some life. Sometimes a brilliant goal will do that for you. Maybe that's how the Solis came to life. Maybe it wasn't Eddie's celebration. Here's Cañez lifting one blind in the air. Pino shoulders it down and sends it to Pollo. Pollo just gets roughed up, and the whistle sounds. Well, if ever a club, in terms of a hard foul, deserved to get a power play, it was the Sockers on that boarding by Pee Wee, where they almost saw his head right into the joint between the boards and the glass. Cañez has some space in the midfield to move. Solis answered very well last time. They've hit their target this time. Well kept as well. And back to Aragon, who's the man who took the penalty. It's Javier Barreras that's up front. He's got 4 goals this year. Barreras stepping to his right foot, steps over the ball, and will settle it down with 6:16 left in the half. Pino, the one-on-one battle with Barreras. Now it's Rosales. Chipped away by Leo. Just a clever little touch along the red line. Cerda draws a gang of 2 with no whistle coming. It's raked along to Aragon and now back out to Rubalcava. Across the red line, he can send it all the way into the corner without penalty. Working back, Barreras to the middle. Leo had to hold up to avoid a whistle and was fortunate as Juan Unguia was right there on the scene. Pino headed that one on his way to the bench and is replaced by Emmanuel Aguirre. 5:17 left in the first half, tied at 2. Shoulder down, that shot high and wide from outside by Irving Murillo. And he'll head off. Both teams looking to make changes with 5:11 left in the half.
Yeah, interesting 5 minutes remaining here in this first half, Craig. Interesting to see what each team's going to come with here, as they both kind of felt each other out and gotten us to this point.
Pee-wee put it in traffic and got in trouble.
For all intents and purposes, right where we started from tonight.
Escoto's got a ball settled for him. Escoto to the middle. Bond stepped over the ball.
Brilliant work from Escoto. Great stuff from Brandon Escoto there. Come alive.
Pee-wee. Here's Bond. Revs it up. That shot block gets it back. Turns to his left foot and spins it back. Pee-wee shot it into the traffic. Escoto brings it down quickly. Cut, wall, Bond settles, shoots into Rubalcava. He makes the save, pinning the ball to the wall for a moment. As the Viking clap is underway, the throw out is there and headed into the corner for Aguirre to settle. Here's Escoto. Fans are revved up now. Escoto bends one just about a foot wide. Rolled back, Rubalcava must play it with his feet. Escoto and Slav with the pressure. Ball in the corner, over to Escoto, and it rammed right off the defender's back. And Bond is there to continue possession for San Diego. They've held it for 1:15 straight. Serra across to Slav. Slav on the approach. Slav with a shot! The curving blast blocked away.
I don't know how he ever saw it with Bond in front of him.
Farber brought down, a foul call. Dangerous set piece coming up for San Diego.
Who takes it here? You'd like to see a right footer from this angle. As we see Farber get tripped up there not once but twice. And the second one draws the foul call. You'd like a right footer from this angle, or perhaps they try to work something over to this near side and get Slaviša Ubaparapovic involved from a central angle.
Escoto has the shot, it's blocked. Comes back for the ball, touches it out, goal! Pee-wee has put the Sockers on top.
Well, they tried to work it to this near side and have a right footer coming in onto his left foot. Or have a left footer, pardon me, coming in onto the left foot. It was Escoto. It didn't exactly come off how they designed it. Escoto then got the ball right back and found his old pal Pee-wee Ortega. And we'll see again here. Great look from the top cam. That was designed to just be a direct opportunity for Escoto. And fortunate was Brandon for that bounce to come back his way. And rather than getting greedy after his chance didn't work out and was cleanly blocked, rather than getting frustrated and just driving another one, Escoto took a quick breath and saw Ortega, teed him up. Pee-wee did the rest. 3-2, San Diego.
Quick answer try by Solis. Went about 3 feet wide. Fans are starting to get the hang of the triple call and answer. Good when they have good names to work with. But we do want Slav to keep scoring. It'll just be a funny challenge. 2-on-2 in the attacking side of the field, and Farber's the man who comes from behind, as we've seen him do so many times in his great, great career.
Ubaparapovic. Just say it 10 times fast, folks. It'll come off nice and easy before you know it.
By the way, coming up at halftime here on MASL TV, we're going to have a conversation with
one Slaviša Ubaparapovic.
Indeed. Stay tuned for that. Don't just wander away for halftime. We'll bring you that interview coming up at the break. Sockers have a lead they'd like to take into the break, or perhaps add to. Certainly add to. Pressure in the corner. Rubalcava bangs it out. Leo brings it down. Leo looked for the gorgeous chip, and it was a little bit wide. High pressure shown by San Diego. Aragon trying to figure his way out of it. Reza can run this one down. Essentially a punt into the Sockers' corner on this football Sunday. 2 minutes left in the second quarter. 3-2 San Diego. Arriaga.
3-2, Craig. Really a fair score line for how this game has transpired, but soccer is not a fair game. And the Sockers would love to send Solis into the dressing room with a somewhat cruel, unfair scoreline. Make it 4-2. Get that crucial fourth goal and take a 2-goal lead in the dressing room. You can see the energy. It's amped up right now. This is good stuff here.
Final 90 seconds of the second quarter.
Oh, they're going for it.
Slav to Escoto. The cycle's on.
No mistake about it.
Slav, and there's the pass out by Escoto. And I tell you what, that's the adjustment. You talked about it perfectly in the opening minutes. It's the one he has to make to become a distributor tonight, because the insta-double team is coming. And you've got guys like Slav you can pass to, and Pee Wee, etc. Serta on the floor. Look out.
Here we go.
Slav saves it.
One more good attack in him.
Escoto says, give the ball to me.
Great
Instead,
ball.
it's Leo perfectly. The shot is blocked away by Rubalcava.
That was gorgeous.
And here's the counter again. Aragon all the way. Steps through one, and the second got him.
Look at this.
It's Pino, and here we go the other way. Oh. And the give and go is on. It's Pino in on net. Pino, Escoto, goal! Sockers magic. Escoto on the floor. 4-2 the score.
End to end. Frantic stuff. And Leo lays it off here, and there was an inadvertent moment here right at the end as he went into the boards, as it was a punch appears to be thrown by the boards there. But I watched that whole play develop, and let's watch the goal one more time, because it was
great
great
stuff. I believe this will
stuff.
be Pino's goal, by the way. Watch
Pino
this.
knocking it in, and the slide goes in off the defender, and he's frustrated and doesn't know Escoto's there, and he's actually punching at the ground, I believe. Escoto kind of hits him back, and Murillo, again, I don't want to lead into anything I don't fully know, but Murillo immediately turned to Escoto, I think saying in Espanol that he was trying to hit the ground in frustration and didn't know Escoto was behind him. Escoto kind of just impulsively threw a half little punch back. I hope that the cooler heads prevail here, but
now they're gonna call this goal for Brandon, but I believe that is Guerrero Pino's goal, as Escoto is hobbled and certainly is going to be headed to Paul Savage's training table, which seems to be a busy place with Childs out since the first quarter.
Look, maybe in the mind of Murillo there was some ill will there. I don't know. I can't say, but all I saw was a sort of a punch land. Escoto impulsively throw, kind of half a punch back, going, ow, my ribs, I just got hit. And Murillo was immediately saying, I was trying to hit the ground in frustration. That was crazy, and I think that is what some of those Sockers players are upset about. Feeling that this one goes high into the glass and down to the keeper. I feel like some Sockers players are feeling there should have been a penalty. A yellow card at least for that apparent punch. And now this thing's going to get a little chippy going in right here.
Pittman gets
You can already feel it. Yeah, you can already feel it.
Don't do this now. Taylor Bond shoving. We're going to see multiple cards, and now it's getting serious. And Koyo is coming in to play peacemaker, but Bond has gone off. And as you
could feel it
nailed
coming.
it.
You could feel it coming the entire time. And we'll get a chance to see it all unfold again from close up right here. There's the foul against Pittman. It's a clear foul against Pittman. Then Bond comes over and kind of just crams in, gets back up, and it's ready to go. So you could feel it brewing. You could feel a few Sockers players. It wasn't just Taylor Bond. You don't want to be too harsh on Bond here, because there were a number of Sockers players, so you could feel after that little scrap broke out, or whatever you want to call it there, that little short punch from the ground that was ultimately landed on Brandon Escoto a few minutes ago, a few seconds ago as far as the game time goes. You could feel that something like this was in store, and it just happened to be Taylor Bond involved over there. And blue cards are shown, and hopefully we can move on with this thing and play out the final 17 and a half seconds.
It looks like they're going to go with 2-minute penalties here, which is guys getting let off pretty easy. Adrian Miller and Bond going to the box, but now we'll see a second man added. So there will be additional penalty. We'll just need to hear the call downstairs from Callan McClurg, our PA announcer, and now a second man in for Sonora. And we'll see how all of this sorts out with 17.5 seconds left in the second quarter. 4-2 Sockers. So the points won't change, Nate. On review, I think that'll be Pino from Escoto. It's currently Escoto from Pino. In the air with 4v4 soccer now for 13 seconds and then for the first minute 40 plus of the third quarter. And the Sockers are very much content to let the clock run out.
Yep.
4-2 San Diego.
Well, that got interesting.
At the horn. Certainly did. Goals from Pollo, Pee-wee, and Escoto in the final 8 minutes. Possibly Pino. Probably Pino. I think definitely Pino. All in the final 8 minutes of the half sees San Diego turn a 2-1 deficit into a 4-2 lead. Goals for the Sockers, Eduardo Velez, Ivan Pueblo Ruiz, as Taylor Bond is arguing with the official or talking with the official. Don't want to describe it. Looks like they're both talking to one another. Luis Pee-wee Ortega and Brandon Escoto. Let's hear those penalty calls.
With the second quarter of play for Sonora, number 5, Adrian Miller, and for San Diego, number 2, Taylor Bond. 2 minutes each for unsportsmanlike conduct and a 5-minute misconduct penalty for severe unsportsmanlike manners. Time of the penalties is mentioned, 14:51. Again for Solis, number 5, Adrian Miller. For San Diego, number 2, Taylor Bond. 2 minutes each for unsportsmanlike conduct and a 5-minute penalty for severe unsportsmanlike manner at 14:51. Serving the first 2-minute penalties for Solis, number 16, Javier Francisco Acosta. And for San Diego, number 7, Brian Farber. The score at halftime, San Diego 4, Sonora 2. Shots on goal for the...
With that established, let's go down to the field, and Melissa May standing by with Phil Salvaggio.
Coach, coming off only 1 day of rest, how did you prepare your team for tonight's game?
Yeah, we did it all week long. We practiced for both games, different styles and different formats, so we were ready for tonight.
Childs getting injured in the first. What type of adjustments did you have to make?
Yeah, we have a big team. We have a lot of forwards. We have depth, and that's one of the things. That's why we always have a large team, and everybody's ready to play, and everybody's ready to play it all the time.
Building off that depth, you've had 4 different soccer players score already. How do you keep that momentum going?
We're just going to keep it going and cheer it around and then play it tough and quit our mistakes, and we should be better.
Thanks, Coach.
Keeping it simple, head coach Phil Salvaggio, thanks to Melissa May. It's halftime. It's 4-2 San Diego. Things got a little bit wild at the end of the second quarter. When we come back, a conversation with Slavica Ubaparapovic. Then we'll bring you the highlights and get you set for the second half. You're watching the San Diego Sockers and Soles de Sonora on MASL TV.
Califino. Treat yourself to the fino things in life.
The proud son of an immigrant father, John Hernandez found his own path through a field of smoke. John found his fighting spirit in one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, a job few are willing to do. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
It's Paulina Salazar, your preferred real estate agent for the San Diego Sockers. I would love the opportunity to show you guys what I could bring to the table as far as real estate goes. So please do not hesitate to shoot me a text or a phone call.
One. Halftime here at Pechanga Arena, San Diego, between the Sockers and Soles de Sonora. And our halftime guest tonight, none other than Slavica Ubiparapovic. Slav, last match for the San Diego Sockers, 4-2 over the Ontario Fury to get out now to a winning record at 2-1. What was it like being a part of that matchup, facing Taiyu, Jones, Chris Toth, all the guys that are kind of the arch rivals of the Sockers?
Well, it was a good game. We obviously know all those guys. We played with them. We played against each other for years now. And going into that game, we knew we needed to win at home. We lost the first one at home, and we didn't want to give our fans another disappointment. So we came back out. We came back strong and with a winning mentality.
When you play with Team USA in Perth, Australia in October, you had a chance to play with Frank Taiyu, three-time MASL MVP, kind of a virtual 50-goal scorer every year, it seems. Never got to play in the East, though, so it was probably your first time interacting with him. Did that make it a little bit easier, not that it's easy, to defend a guy like that?
Well, I've played with Frank at the futsal national team as well, so I've known Frank, and I've obviously watched the games throughout the seasons, and he's a tough guy. He's a tough player. He's very technical, and he's also very strong, and he's got a great shot. So defending him is very tough, but our defenders did a tremendous job.
I think a lot of fans who are still trying to figure out how to say your name. By the way, I just got to ask about this. You scored the goal. We're doing the call and response this year. If anyone's watching and not understand it, we're trying to do the classic European first name, last name. What did you think? How did the fans do first time?
We might have to shorten my last name just a little bit, maybe to Ubi. So we can say my first name, then they can say Ubi.
That might be a good idea. We'll bring that up in a production meeting. Speaking of which, though, a lot of fans are getting to know you right now for the first time. So here's a halftime interview where we've got a couple of minutes. So maybe tell people, if you could, kind of your journey here to San Diego.
Well, it's always been one of my dreams, even before I started playing, to move out to the West Coast. And obviously I started playing and then met up with Phil a few times, and the opportunity presented itself, and I thought it was a great chance for me to get out here and still continue to play soccer and try out the West Coast division and see how it goes.
You came through Xavier, I know. You had a storied college career. You've played, whether it was Syracuse, but you've had some outdoor experience as well. Tell folks about that.
Mostly outdoor. I played college, and I went out to Europe to play a little bit in Europe, and that didn't really work out how I wanted to. I came back, really was going to not play soccer anymore, but then Ryan Hall ended up finding me in Cleveland, offered me a chance to go to Syracuse their first year, and ever since then I've been in this league.
You know, it's interesting because I think every youth player starts off as an outdoor player and dreaming of an outdoor career. When you make that transition, what is that like?
Well, obviously the field is smaller, but it's also a different kind of game. Indoor is more technical, and you have to be aware, and it's a lot more, not more running, but it's constant running up and down. You don't really get that break where you can sit in the middle and relax for a couple of seconds. Here it's constant up and down. You got to follow your man, and it's a very demanding game, but it's also a lot of fun.
And what kind of respect have you learned for the skill level in this sport?
Oh, I mean, just seeing Leo play, it's enjoyable, and he's one of the most skillful players in our league. But there are the other players that I enjoyed watching and playing against, which are also great technical players. So it's fun, and we also acknowledge that even though we play each other, we still acknowledge each other's talents and abilities. So it's a great thing.
Slavica Ubiparapovic. I think it's easy, guys. Just get the hang of it. It's phonetic, and everything will be fine. Slav, best of luck. Thanks for the time.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back. We'll bring you the highlights from the first half and get you ready for second half kickoff on MASL TV.
Tequila. Treat yourself to the fino things in life. Your team. The perfect fit. The game ball. Are you ready? Soccer Loco, next level performance.
All right, yeah, thanks for sure. I'll be there. Hey, wait, hold on. I'm running by the field right now. You're never gonna guess. Dude, Medina's here. I think he's training for a comeback to the Sockers.
What are you talking about? Medina? He retired 2 years ago. He's too old, bro.
Oh, dude. You're right, bro. He's too old. Okay, so that barbecue, yeah.
Don't wait for the rain. Call your Cairo today.
Dr. Corey's office, how can we help you?
I got this. Let's get him in.
Okay, sounds good, Mr. Medina. We'll see you shortly.
We're getting ready for the start of the second half at Pechanga Arena, San Diego. 4-2 Sockers. Let's show you how it happened with some first half highlights. After a slow start to the game, it was Eddie Velez who got things going, taking advantage of a loose ball and beating Rubalcava near post for a 1-0 lead. But Sonora was quick to answer. Look at this finish by Jose Antonio Cruz. One of the most delightfully powerful strikes and a classic Wallace score. Then on an ensuing power play, it was Enrique Cañez, allowed to go right down the middle and beat the Sockers defense. San Diego would come back. Escoto, hard work to stay after his own shot. Back to Pee Wee Ortega, back to the goal. That a power play goal for a 2-2 tie. Then the 2-on-0 break. Pino and hustling in a frustrated Irving Murillo, who then kind of threw a punch at Escoto, but probably not on purpose. However, it led to this. Taylor Walter Bond has a role on this club, and Taylor Bond got it going in that aspect afterwards, leading to something I hadn't heard before, but you know, that's why you come to work every day, because you never know what you might hear and learn. And first time I've ever heard of unsportsmanlike conduct plus severe unsportsmanlike manners. Severe unsportsmanlike manners is the call, and was actually given to both Miller and Bond, leading to this score, 4-2. The Sockers leading Solis. Now, two proxies are serving the blue cards, those being respectively Brian Farber and Francisco Acosta of Solis. Bond and Miller will have to wait an additional 3 minutes plus any loose ball. Sockers 4, Solis 2. Dare I remind our viewers, didn't make the highlight melt, but understandably so. We're trying to show you all the goals, because Eduardo Velez had a lengthy, dare I say, laboriously long celebration, waiting for his child to be walked down to him on the field, to walk him out to midfield, to then go get Cowboys sombrero, and then put the sombrero down, and then teach his kid how to do the sombrero dance, and then do the sombrero dance. And as all that happened, with Solis standing there ready to start and watching, I thought it not at all coincidence that what has erupted since has been a furious and a furiously physical game between San Diego and Sonora, with both teams stepping it up. And I think Solis had a fire lit underneath them as they watched the Eddie celebration. So with that, we're going to start this third quarter with 1:43 of 4-on-4 action. As you see, Solis going through their stretches. And some of the retired numbers of the San Diego Sockers. Given just a second, I want to remind everyone as this decade starts to come to a close that San Diego, arguably the finest accomplishment of San Diego sports in the decade of the 2010s, setting the all-time United States professional sports record for consecutive victories, any sport. 48 straight wins for the San Diego Sockers from 2010 to 2012. My name is Craig Elston. Rene Ortiz, unfortunately, couldn't hook up with Melissa May downstairs. No big deal. We move onward and upward into the third quarter, and presenting third quarter play-by-play. Once again, it is my pleasure to hand over the reins to Nate Abarea.
Thank you very much, Craig Elston. It was a first half that saw 6 goals, 4 for the home side from San Diego. Those lads in blue and gold, the San Diego Sockers. They lead 4-2. They trailed 2-1 at the end of the first quarter. A second quarter that saw 3 Sockers goals and, as Craig said, some severe unsportsmanlike manners. And those severe unsportsmanlike manners, that's why we're 4-on-4 as it stands right now. It's going to be quite a bit of 4-on-4. 1:42 plus of 4-on-4 arena soccer. Plenty of space. We'll see if there's plenty of action and goal-scoring opportunities as we kick off the second half. Again, Nate Abarea and Craig Elston here with you on MASL TV. Huge thank you to our TVX crew and the wonderful Melissa May making up our squad on a Sunday night here in SD. We were just here a couple of nights ago as the Sockers defeated the Ontario Fury by the scoreline that they currently lead by. 4-2 the win over the rivals from the Inland Empire. On Friday night, 4-2 the lead against the opponents from Hermosillo here this evening. This one bounces up against the glass. Escoto giving chase and shepherds it back to his goalkeeper, and perhaps a foul was committed. The somewhat overzealous Sonora attacker down there on that play. For the visitors, it was Dorame, and a foul indeed. Cerda shooing everybody out and playing it back to Diego Arriaga, who had a clean second quarter after giving up the pair of goals in the first 15 minutes here in his Sockers debut. The former RGV Barracuda's netminder. Try to send that one up off the boards to Escoto. The bounce not kind to the Tijuanense. The play overall really hasn't been too kind to Brandon Escoto. We'll see if he can come alive in the second half. A lot of space to work with here for another 25 seconds. Trying to get through traffic there and find Escoto on the left side. Aguirre just took too long. Coming the other way. Ooh, gnarly lunge in there from Jose Antonio Cruz, who scored one of the cleanest goals you're going to see, or I guess should say scored with one of the cleanest hits you're going to see. The technique of the first Sonora goal tonight. It was a thing of beauty. And Brian Farber, fresh out the penalty box.
Ooh, pushed.
Gets the steal and draws the foul. How's that for coming right back into the fold?
Brian Farber will always put his body at risk, and going aerial once again here as he picks the pocket of Aragon and then really does take a hard hit from the quad of Murillo. And I remind everyone the game's gotten physical. I'd also like to remind everyone of the top story. Craig Giles out since missed first quarter, has not returned.
Leonardo de Oliveira has taken those, what you might call first string minutes from Captain Craig Giles. Here is Leo. Leo tries to flick through to Brian Farber. Farber trapped down in the corner. Farber pinned against the boards. And a foul called, a shove given by Farber. We'll see the replay here, Craig.
And I can see in their physical actions that the Sockers have been advised about trying to slow things down instead of revving it up in terms of the physical play.
Aguirre drives into the glass.
Because Farber right there had an opportunity to attack back.
Farber's attacking back as he goes with pace and knocks in to the Soles player and maybe didn't quite get the angle correct, and the foul is called. Farber not having it. Free kick to the visitors as they possess in their own half. It's launched forward, chested down. Lovely stuff with the bring down. Not so much with the shot there from Salazar. Cerda, Leo, Leonardo de Oliveira. Put on an absolute clinic back on Friday night. The ball here from the goalie. Finds Leo. Leo brings it down, now battles in the air, and the bounce this time goes against San Diego and up and over those short boards. As the fans are enjoying themselves in the front couple of rows. The Soles get us back underway. 3 minutes have elapsed here in the third quarter. Score the same as it was at the halftime break. This game was 2-2 very late in to that second quarter. A couple of goals laid on before the halftime buzzer sounded. Got San Diego into the pole position that they're currently in. Next goal, a big one. We say that quite often in these broadcasts, but 5-2 versus 4-3 has the feel of one of those important junctures in a game. We'll see who snags the next one. We'll see who rises up for the Sockers in the absence of the all-time leading scorer and the man who really leads by example and leads with quality, Craig Childs. Travi P. Pittman, shot blocked into the glass. Pittman works this back to Pee Wee Ortega. Pee Wee Ortega, the Chicago in. Over to another Tijuanense, Eddie Velez. And Travi P. acrobatically tried to attain that one and knocked it up into the netting. 4 minutes and 2 seconds gone here in this third quarter. Still 4-2 San Diego.
And yet another adjustment needed for the Sockers as their newly installed third forward. After Giles left, Bond is still serving time in the box. That just means Leo and Eddie alternate in twos with no replacement.
Pee Wee Ortega off the wall to Escoto. Brandon Escoto, shot low, blocked. Retrieved by Brandon Escoto, tries to center. Pass nicked away. Brasileño Leonardo de Oliveira back with it on the 1-2. Pokes back to the corner and Pollo. Pollo back to Guerre, the Warrior, Guerrero Pino. All the way back to the Sockers debutant, Diego Arriaga. Pollo. Channeling his inner maestro, conducting the symphony, and just, quite frankly, telling a few people to shoo and get out of the way. Arriaga, forward to Leo. Leo trapped in a tough spot here. There's a man to get out of this, though. It's Leonardo de Oliveira. And it actually ends up with a whistle and a little disagreement here.
Well, it's a classic Leo actually getting kicked in both calves at once. And then Aragon got a little bit of a hand in there, too.
And it was just a drop ball in the end of it, Craig.
Interesting.
So it was actually Called as a dead ball there with the ball pinned against the boards. You don't see that every day. The drop ball and an actual drop ball. Not just one of those ones that you see in the outdoor game of the sporting variety and they'll play it back to the other team's keeper. No, that was a good old-fashioned face-off.
We've had 2 in 2 games now. We're on a drop ball streak.
Some people come for, the goals and the great assists and the great camaraderie on display. I guess others come for the drop balls. Whoever you are, if you're a drop ball fan, you got to be loving what you're seeing. Here's Cerda. Cesar Cerda. Has this one knocked away, then gets knocked to the floor, battles back for it. You must say, classy stuff defending there from Xavier Barreras. Slaviša Ubaparapovic is back in the game for San Diego. Good to see Slav get lively in this third quarter. What has been a tame third period thus far. 6 minutes are now gone by. Back to goal. Hold up play from Xavier Barreras.
Yep.
Fortunate as he gets back up and finds the ball at his feet. Cerda reads the pass, picks it off. Back to the goalkeeper now. Careful back there, Diego.
Uh-oh.
And Slav
with the handball. And he'll take the handball foul over the restart. That's really smart, but it's quite cynical.
And it's a wee bit unfair.
I mean,
that's
that
from
is
Hermosillo.
100% what he intended to do.
That's why they're saying we should get top of the arc. And now this one drives in almost a little poetic justice, but it was blocked at the back post rather miraculously by Pito. Slav, first touch to Escoto. Slav Skoto in full effect. Ubaparapovic off the boards trying to find Brandon. And Solis cycle out.
Still could be a Slav Skoto.
Ubaparapovic gets it back. Cerda with it. Escoto's off the pitch now. Yep. Velez is on. Velez kind of snatched at that shot. Cerda cycled wide. Oh, Brian Farber with the spectacular attempt. In traffic, no less. And it goes just high. Farber back with it again. Farber central! Goal! El Vaquero otra vez. He started the scoring tonight for San Diego. And he starts the scoring here in the second half. 5-2 Sockers with 7:53 left in the third quarter.
And Brian Farber gets the assist, and appropriately so. An absolutely brilliant shift from Brian Farber, starting with yet another Farber near miracle bike. But does he stop and stall? He keeps it going, keeps the intensity, and gets the perfect pass to his longtime teammate, Eduardo Velez, for his second goal of the match.
And I think we're going to get a look here at the Farber attempt. Oh,
3 inches.
We were just talking about that on Soccer's Overtime the other day, as we were talking about how many of these there have been over the last couple of years. Brian Farber inches away from goals that would get him on SportsCenter, goals that would go viral, would get the millennial soccer community going crazy on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And he's been inches wide or inches high seemingly every last dang time.
I still submit that one in Tacoma was in, but we can never take it back, so it wasn't because it wasn't, but I think it was. This one was not, but only by about, I'd say, a half a ball from being, again, like you said, maybe number 6, number 5 tonight on SportsCenter Top 10. He's done it. First time he did it as a soccer was in Harrisburg, and it was actually in game 48 of the 48-game winning streak. Second time we could mention that, but it was inadvertently so. And he had a spectacular bicycle there. And I'd say I've seen him miss maybe 12 that were all that close or very close.
Inches. But he gets the assist, does Brian Farber. Assisting El Vaquero with the Tijuana native Eddie Velez as Taylor Bond is out of the penalty box and right back to chasing down loose balls and almost inevitably ruffling a few feathers. Here's Bond giving chase and squaring up the opponent. The foul was actually called down in the corner against Travis Pittman. So free kick to Sonora.
And the Soles need to find the fire again. It was ignited, the heat of the sun, after Eddie's first celebration, but now it's low.
I liked Adrian Miller trying to find a little inspiration there from a young Sockers fan sitting in the front row, near where he was taking that set piece. Give a little high five seconds before he took the free kick. Unfortunately, the free kick went straight into the wall. The high five, the highlight of that set piece. Approaching 8 minutes gone. Here in the third quarter.
Smart play. That would have sent in Pee Wee with Bill.
And Leo was trying to go for the nutmeg the way he often does. It almost came off, but the Cavs were closed at the last possible moment there by the Soles defender. That's a lovely first-time ball through, outlet to Pee Wee. Ortega. Pee Wee trapped. Pee Wee kicked a couple of times. Ball knocked away. This game has been physical, make no mistake about it. Few penalties, few examples of quote-unquote severe unsportsmanlike manners. And just a few more penalties for good measure. 6.5 minutes remaining.
Manners.
Here in the third quarter.
That's the word.
I don't know if it was manner or manners, because it was said, I heard it actually as both, so we'll have to get to the bottom of that. I like just going with manners.
Yes. And his manners were indeed poor.
I feel like I'm going to get called out by my significant other soon for my severe unsportsmanlike manners at the dinner table for not putting the phone down, while we're eating dinner.
I mean, that's at least a yellow card for sure.
I got to look back from everybody up here. Seems like I'm not the only one who's been called out for such severe unsportsmanlike manners at the dinner table. Under 6 minutes remaining. Sockers driving forward. Foul. Yeah. More physicality. Another whistle. This time, no card.
And it does deny a Sockers counterattack because Eddie Velez, you can see on your frame here,
the yellow.
Courtesy of our Calafino replay.
Spoke too soon.
A yellow.
There's a yellow out for, was it Miller?
So, well, that would be something if it is, because that could lead to his ejection as a red card, because it would be his third card of the night. Is it Miller? Please turn your thigh to me, sir. Yeah, it's Miller. So he got a blue with a yellow. And
now he didn't get the blue.
Yeah, he did. They both got, he got blue and yellow. Bond got blue and yellow. Now he takes a yellow. What, did they take it away? He's still on the field. Can we hear that?
A yellow card has been issued to number 9, Enrique Canez of Sonora. A 5-minute yellow card penalty for delay of game. Time of the penalty, 9:10. Again for Solis, the penalty on number 9, Enrique Canez.
Well, there you have it. After we were up here in Rosette thinking, what in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here? We've gotten to the bottom of this conundrum.
So Miller was just attorney present.
Precisely. Said he was pre-law. This one's forward for Solis. It's a chance for the visitors. It's a goal for the visitors. It's Xavier Barreras. Solis right back in it. Goal! The visitors from Hermosillo trimmed the deficit, Craig.
And it really started with a poor touch from Slav, who gave it away to Rosales and turned it into a 3-on-2, perfectly run. And the one player you couldn't see on the right wing kept all the spacing exactly right. That was after the touch. And then just breaking it, create that 2v1 down low. That's what you do. You force Serta into a commitment, and you get a goal. Rosales the assist, 5-3. We got a game again.
Brilliant play from the Sockers at number 7 a few minutes ago. Brian Farber. Good stuff there from Barreras. The Soles, number 7. As 10 minutes have elapsed in the third quarter. A goal for each side here in these opening 10 minutes of the 15-minute period. Throw was kind of sailed there by the Soles goalkeeper, Angel Rubalcaba.
Leyva and Leo getting involved there.
And Leyva is tucked down into the corner. Trying to find Munguia. And there's Reza getting his shirt tugged, but he plays the pass anyway up to Escoto. Escoto getting knocked from behind. No double team this time for Brandon, but then he kind of dribbles into one. He's getting triple teamed out there and ends up committing a foul as he swung the arm back. Not a good moment there for Brandon Escoto, and we're still kind of waiting for Escoto to come alive as I saw the last little swipe there.
And you also saw Murillo just apparently a gnat touched his cheek, because certainly Brandon Escoto did not. Again, interesting. One thing, Nate, that, and I even hesitate to bring it up, but the Sockers have not had a match yet. Their last 2 wins have had, as this one's in the air of comfort to them at moments. But 7-3, 4-2. They've never really pulled away and just put a match away. And that was on my to-do list tonight. And at 5-2, there was a chance to start that. And now we're seeing another match where the Sockers might be in one in the fourth quarter.
A disagreement out here as far as whose ball it was. There was a young fan in the front row who tried to become the 7th Sockers player and almost did a pretty good job at it. Took an official kind of with a late notice that the ball hadn't gone off the boards, but actually had been knocked back in by a Sockers fan, and then there was a little confusion as to whose ball it actually was in the restart. Solis tried to just take it, but order restored in the court of Arena Soccer. And Taylor Bond places off the wall. Point blank save. Back for Farber. Cerda again. Blocked. And Bond gives chase. Good work from Taylor Bond. Foul committed in the end of it by Taylor Bond.
Great setup for Cesar Cerda, and for Angel Rubalcava, his best save of the night. Sockers playing with excellent teamwork right there in the attacking third. And we've got a hobbled, I believe that's Rosales.
And we've got a hobbled Rubalcaba as well. So a couple of Soles players taking the brunt of a couple of different challenges there.
Now Rubalcava looks, I dare suspect, lower back. Now that was the athletic type play. They're looking to stretch him out a little bit. Did he take one to the solar plexus and he's looking to get his wind back? That could be what happened here, but Rubalcava getting additional attention from the training staff of Solis de Sonora, and we hope he's okay.
Yeah, we hope he's okay, and a huge credit to our TVX crew. You see these shots, and you see what these guys go through in this sport in particular. Any athlete in any sporting arena, we know what it takes for anybody to be great and be truly top quality at the professional level, but here in Arena Soccer, there's some unique challenges as far as ones of the physical variety that these players face, and those challenges that goalkeepers so often have to face in Arena Soccer. Taking close-range shots off the solar plex, getting shots to the lower back, having to dive out when there's knees and ankles swinging everywhere. And a good round of applause there from a high IQ fan base. And good sportsmanship on full display. And Sockers fans as they give a nice round of applause to Rubalcaba as he rises to his feet.
Speaking of which, we saw Pollo and Velez practically crossing the border, so to speak, there between the two benches to have a friendly chat.
Yeah.
Iram, of course, an Hermosillo native.
Snuck up that sidewall and got all the way into a good position, and here's a scoring opportunity created almost out of nothing there. That was just a easy peasy little pass up the boards that snuck up that left side, and now look out here. And that might have been a handball, and you could have been talking a shootout or a foul against Arriaga. I thought it might have been the prior, as we saw with Boris Pardo recently. I feel like Arriaga might have been out of his box there as he saved it. The Solis players, I think, were actually pleading for just a straight-up foul against the Sockers goalie.
Well, it all began with official Steve Skilly serving as a bumper out there. That was the second time the Sockers have been betrayed by such a touch.
Under 3 minutes on the clock here in the third quarter.
Very interesting what's going on. This is back to that weird feeling from the first quarter.
A bit of a nervous energy descending from the stands here at the Grand Old Arena. The Solis trying to get right back into this game. Well, they've gotten right back into this game, and there's almost a chance at 5-4. So it went just high and wide. Making this a one-goal game. Certainly a big momentum boost for Solis de Sonora. Miller back in the game.
By the way, I appreciate with weird energy that the deep end creates energy for this arena and for this club.
It's right back to a Bit more of a lively atmosphere once the deep end gets involved. Suddenly the noise around the arena is a little louder. But I'm sure even in the deep end, there's a few nervous minds out there as Soles are just not going away, but that one is played out over the low wall, around the glass. It'll be a Sockers restart inside their own third. Ball pass back from Pollo Ruiz to Piwi Ortega. Ortega launches. Awkward one. Ultimately into the hands of the keeper, Escoto. Almost with a sneaky good finish there.
Great steal, Aguirre.
Velez, Aguirre, Escoto. Escoto tucked. Almost like not a double team or a single team, kind of like he was defended 1.5 there. The double team was near. It was ready to come whenever it was needed. And ultimately, Escoto made the easy pass and changed his lines, and we'll see if that's his last contribution of this third quarter as we approach 1 minute. 1 minute remaining. Slavisha, Uba Perapovic had the overlap. And Pollo couldn't find him. And Travi P commits the foul. The overlap was actually from Piwi Ortega, and the foul, indeed, from the unmistakable Travis Pittman.
And remember, Rosales was hobbled earlier and struggled to the bench, so that right leg is barking at him.
Long ball forward from Rubalcaba. Hits the top of the glass and stays in.
I would have bet you money that touched a little bit of the net.
Es posible. Es posible. Soles continue to possess. Miller. Rosales. Gustavo Rosales on his left foot.
Nice.
Cuts back, sends Pittman flying. Aguirre says, I got you, Travi P. Backup's right here. A little over 30 seconds left. Oh, it's a good ball into the center. And again, on the spot is Aguirre. Aguirre shoos Rosales off and calmly plays out of the back. And Cerda can send Slav on his way. Uba Perapovic off the wall. Drives it, but it was right down the throat of the goalkeeper, Rubalcaba. And Soles will come the other way with Rosales. Is there one more chance for either side left in this first quarter? Miller looked up to the scoreboard saying, is there? I don't know. Let's see. Driving forward, it doesn't look like anything's really going to come of this. It does not. And after the Sockers had a 2-goal lead at the end of one half, they have a 2-goal lead at the end of 3 quarters. It was 4-2 at halftime. It's 5-3 now. Fourth quarter on the other side of this break, right here on MASL TV. Sockers 5, Soles 3. Stay tuned.
Treat yourself to the fino things in life.
The proud son of an immigrant father, John Hernandez found his own path through a field of smoke. John found his fighting spirit in one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, a job few are willing to do. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
It's Paulina Salazar, your preferred real estate agent for the San Diego Sockers. I would love the opportunity to show you guys what I could bring to the table as far as real estate goes. So please do not hesitate to shoot me a text or a phone call.
San Diego Soccer's 5, Soles de Sonora 3, as we get ready for fourth quarter action on a Sunday night in SD in the Grand Old Arena, Pechanga Arena, San Diego. And you can follow the Sockers all season long on social media, get exclusive behind-the-scenes content, online-only deals, interviews, pictures, and more all season long, every day. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter or Instagram at San Diego Sockers. And new this season, social media coverage of the Sockers in Espanol. Follow our Spanish-language Twitter and Instagram feeds at Somos Sockers. Again, that's the Sockers on social media. The Sockers lead 5-3. They led 4-2 at the end of three quarters. Eddie Velez made it 5-2. Barreras got it back to 5-3 for the lads from Hermosillo. And un gran saludo a toda la afición de Soles de Sonora, toda la gente de Hermosillo, el estado de Sonora. Much love to all the Sockers fans tuned in here on MASL TV. My name is Nate Abaurrea, and for the fourth quarter play-by-play, I give you, with great pleasure, Craig Elston.
Thank you, Nate. Sockers got it started with an Eddie Velez goal, 9:24 into the first quarter. He brought his son down from the stands. As this one's chested in, look out, it's Leo, and it can always be dangerous, but it's lifted out and headed back by Guerrero Pino. That sombrero dance then led to a furious Solis response, both physically and on the board. Now this is a 2v1 low. Arriaga saw the shot come and batted it away from the near post.
Big save. That's a big save. It's a good save. It's also one that keeps this game at 5-3. They get an early goal like that inside 30 seconds.
Yep.
That's a huge, big momentum save right there.
Leo lifts one across the Soccer shield to Serra.
This is his first big soccer save. He's made saves already tonight. That was crucial. Credit to Arriaga.
Farber almost had a spectacular bicycle. The Sockers have played without forward Craig Childs since there was about 7 minutes and change left in the first quarter. He left for treatment. He's not come back.
And I don't think he's going to be coming back, Craig.
That'd be fair to say. It's been Leo and Velez up front, and now a perfect pass, and Farber scores! 4 goals in 4 games for Brian Farber. Cesar Serra, his team-leading 5th assist, and it's a 6-3 affair.
Farbisi for 6-3. I mean, that's just calm. It's really all too easy. And Cesar Serra, that was kind of like shooting fish in a barrel right here. As you watch it get to Serra, and he's saying, I got room to shoot, I got room to pass. He goes with the latter, and Farber gets the nutmeg finish. Agonizing stuff for Rubalcaba, but Rubalcaba's looking at his back line. Pretty much everybody out there in a white shirt going, you cannot give Cesar Serra, Brian Farber, players of that experience level, that kind of space and time in the final third.
So we put it on the board in the third quarter. On the to-do list, find a way to really close out a game. Good first step in the fourth quarter for the Sockers. And for sure, the most recognizable player, Farber, has the best call and response so far. Serra, the new dime doctor. From Saltillo to San Diego, 5 assists to lead the club. So now, what's next? Because one more could really puncture the balloon for Solis spiritually. Here's Aguirre, great run. Crosses it over, the setup coming. Who would do it? Leonardo de Oliveira. Leo's got 1 assist tonight, but has been controlling the play. Truly the master of possession for San Diego. And it was Leo who had, Nate, on that last goal, the hockey assist. And if MASL had 2 assists per goal, which I absolutely think they should because points are fun, and quite often it's the pass before the pass. Pee-wee. This is Leo. On the edge, back to Pee-wee, dummies it back for Slav, deflected on a shot block. Leo's going to dig the ball out of the corner. Back heel, in! Wide from Pee-wee! Leo's all over the ball. He refuses to make a conventional pass. Aguirre, and the back heel try. Pee-wee's looking for a golazo. Stepping up again, Aguirre dropped. And it looked like he might have hit his hand on the turf, Nate.
Hope he's okay here. And we get the replay, and It was actually the prize of a handball there from Slavica Uba-Perapovic, but then some of these touches here from Leonardo de Oliveira, that one, it was a series of back heels and soul rolls from Leo. Didn't end up with a goal, but it's mighty fun to watch. It was...
Three fouls now on the Solis Barreras. Something to keep an eye on very early in the quarter, as Barreras is taking a regular turn at forward. Slav bumped again. Foul is called. On who, my friend? It's on Murillo. So nothing to see. By the way, in Tacoma, Stars leading the Fury 5-3 fourth quarter. Here's the raise-a-header try from Escoto. Sockers looking for pretty goals. Foul called, appropriately so. A long shift for Leo, but that's the thing. He gives you that stamina, Nate. A big man who can hold the ball and orchestrate the offense. The maestro of the Sockers. Leonardo de Oliveira.
But are there houses available in Tuscany?
2v1 low. Look at this. Barreras just wide. Got an inch on the foot angle from putting that in. Rosales. And again, the Sockers cannot afford to let up because Solis have not let up. This long shot is wide into the corner. And as the Sockers chant rings out, Barreras runs it down. Rolls the ball between the 7-10 split. Rosales is the pin that's freed loose to chase it down. Working off the 49th minute of action as Pee Wee turns in the corner and is dispossessed by Barreras. A clever touch by Javier Barreras. Rosales now. That shot blocked by Pollo and sent back. Rubalcava has it. Lifting it forward. Swinging scissor try, no ball available for Solis there. Escoto had already gotten the touch. Now coming in on the charge, it's Miller playing with 2 cards tonight, and the other man with 2 cards is Bond. Either one would see a red for card accumulation were they shown one the rest of the match.
Hopefully just a simple foul there, and Bond.
Not without intent.
Bordering those severely unsportsmanlike manners.
Shots have been a parade for San Diego. After 3 quarters, it was 22-10, the shot count officially on the MASL website. A little different than the scoreboard, but that's okay. We go with the website. That's official.
Oh.
Look out, as blowing a tire is Pee Wee. Solis, seems like there's a slippery patch over there. That's twice Pee Wee slipped in that region of the field. Rosales sends it back. Solis on the approach. And as we reach the final 10 minutes here, Arriaga out of his area to head the ball, and then it's chipped away. Skipping near our TVX camera position for a restart.
At the risk of being labeled next goal Nader or something of that sort, next goal here, we're talking a very interesting, maybe a bit nervy final 9.5 minutes if it's for Solis. If it's for San Diego, we're talking game over. So there's your next goal. How you like them apples?
I like apples. Here's Ortega. Try and have one every night if I can. What's your favorite apple? Is it a Gala? Is it a...
Well, as we watch this replay here, I'm gonna give that question some critical thought. It's Bond actually drawing the foul. Bond has had a few fouls dished out his way throughout this game.
He got run over. This one headed toward Rubalcava off the glass, and he can play it that way. That's a legal play. That's a bump in the air and a foul. This one on Cerda. It's a rule that's been misinterpreted sometimes around the league in broadcasts I've watched. The trickery rule. Had it explained by Ryan Sigich, the director of referees, and it's in a way quite simple. You can head the ball to your keeper. The thing that they've taken away is that dropping down and kneeing the ball to the keeper. This shot just wide. Now a second chance for Cruz, who had a blistering first quarter, and then goes rolling to the turf, and Cerda can't believe the whistle sounded. .901 left. I think the heel did get clipped there, as I got a chance to look at it on the stadium board. Timeout called, so let's take a break in the fourth quarter. 9:01 to play. Sockers leading 6-3. Can they close this one out? We'll find out after this. Want to tell you about two terrific matches coming up in a row here at Pechanga Arena, San Diego, because I think, having been around this soccer squad for 9 of their 11 years back in this third iteration, these are two of the sharpest nights we've had planned. Coming up next Sunday, a week from tonight, it's our holiday game. We'll have Bobby Cressy here, renowned organist, playing the holiday hits. We've got Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus for the kids to have their pictures taken. But what do you need late in the holiday season? You need a stocking stuffer. And instead of just going to the 99-cent store, come here where tickets start at $15 with free parking and get a set of trading cards that would be good enough to be put under the tree. Here's the restart, and it's through the legs of Farber, but tiptoed by Pino out. So it's holiday night, but it's also trading card night. This is going to be a full 36-card set by the end of the year.
They're so good.
Second half of the set to be delivered on the Baltimore Blast game. Play on, it's Cruz. Slav comes back in, and it's a roller right on Arriaga.
Crucial challenge there from Slav. I don't know if he actually got any of the ball there, but just kind of putting off the attacker ever so slightly. Just enough.
High pressure, and this one eluded Arriaga, and now he's in danger. He hustles back to the net. He was on safari, and the lion was loose. Skipper in, second chance high off the Sockers logo.
Kept the body behind it. That was a tough one for Arriaga. Look out,
Pino skips it forward, 2v1 with Pittman, sends it to Pittman. Travis can wait for it, back to Pino and just wide. And Pittman, a blue card is up as Pittman got clipped on the ankle. Power play for San Diego, Nate.
Okay. Yeah, the trip there of Pittman. Tough call against Sonora. And Pino is actually the man out trying to calm down the Soles player out there. Still trying to plead his case for the group. He's Aragon.
Avendano in the box for tripping. And now the Sockers, who are 1 for 1 on the power play tonight and 3 for 3 on the season, have their 4th power play of the year, second of the game.
And that's without Craig Childs for a large portion of this game.
And we check that box, get a couple power plays tonight. Here's Pee Wee.
The captain of the team and really the leader of the power play, missing, and see if they can make it 2 for 2 though without him.
Leo picks the pocket, falls, they play on, then he's tripped. That was a late challenge.
Well, Rosales wanted a whistle for something against Leo before that foul was committed.
This power play will count down either to 6-12 or to what could be a defining Sockers goal of the match. Slav.
Something about a crucial next goal.
Heard that somewhere. Here's Pee Wee. He's had quite a game. Deflected into the grasp of Rubalcava, who's going to take it out on his own.
I thought it was Patty from the media game there for a second.
If he took another touch, it would have been. What fun that was, by the way. You can catch the replay of that here on MASL
forever.
TV.
You can catch it forevermore. As long as there's a YouTube, there will, sadly for some,
yes,
be Soccer's 2019 media game.
Arriaga, again, is out there, and he is a very willing player to handle the ball on his feet and to charge out of his area. I love how he aggressively uses his frame. He's not nearly the size of Boris, obviously, so he uses aggression. Good cross pass. It's Leo! Crossbar, 4th of the night for San Diego.
Save made down there by Rubalcaba.
Got the touch?
He did get the touch. He pushed that off red.
Still a crossbar.
That was going in. It was going in, though.
Leo. Pee-wee. Here's Slav tiptoeing in. There's 35 seconds on the power play. Ooh. Play on as Pollo fell. The counterattack is on shorthanded. It's Rosales. Excellent deflection there.
Pollo still down
Pee-wee.
behind the play. Oh, got crunched down there.
And Paul Savage was being called out. He's being called back. But Pollo has yet to arise from the floor. .26 seconds of power play. Now, after the stop and go, Pollo, I think, first indicated he'd be okay, but he has not gotten up, and Paul Savage is checking on the very crucial midfielder of the San Diego Sockers. So they're looking at the right leg, Nate. I mentioned, and I don't mean to sell tickets over the top of an injury. It looks like Pollo's okay. He's up to his feet. He's not happy. And he is not walking the way you'd want. But he's still going, and he is tough as they come.
I think we might be talking about just a bang there. I think something did just kind of go either knee to knee or shin to shin. And it is painful as most anything could be on the soccer pitch. But I don't think there's any sort of twist or anything all too severe that's going to keep Pollo out long term. I hope so.
The following Sunday, Nate, is Star Wars night, our first official Lucasfilm Star Wars night. The Sockers will have Star Wars-themed jerseys. We'll have Stormtroopers, Tusken Raiders, Rebel Heroes, droids, what have you. Everything will be here. It's going to be a night to remember, so join us. That'll be when Solus makes a return, and we can now expect, Nate, an exciting and a solidly challenged match as well.
Absolutely.
So a lot on the board. Tacoma next week, trading card night, holiday night, and then Star Wars night after the Christmas holiday on the 29th. Join us, Sockers.com, 866-799-GOAL. This ball springing loose, and Pee-wee battling with Bond, trying to create a 2-on-0 down low. One leg kept him from it. Here's Leo with another dizzying stop and go. So much fancy. Slav on his left foot. That shot blocked. That had to hurt. Miller then going for the legs of Slav, who's off quickly. Arriaga.
Few things that Leonardo de Oliveira would want to do in life more than just dribble a soccer ball.
Pittman's got space on the wing. His shot's blocked out of play.
You see him, it's rhythm, it's expression, it's art every time the ball is at his feet. And there was a period of time last year where that may have gotten on a few people's nerves, where it became all about that and finding that balance between the artistry and the effectiveness. That's what it's all about this year for Leo, and I really think he's finding it, Craig.
A well-crossed pass by Aguirre to Pittman has kept this possession alive for San Diego. 6-3, the Sockers lead. They've got the only goal of the quarter. They haven't broken it open, at least not yet. As Bond is physically staying with his play. Got it to Farber on the turn. Farber's shot blocked. The ricochet is still being battled for. Aragon had his arm out, but it's out to Aguirre. Left-footed shooter. Aguirre with a couple of fakes. Finds Bond in the corner. Bond, this pass of two minds, had two targets and went in between, and Solis was able to come away with the ball. And we have reached the final 5 minutes of the game, brought to you by Calafino Tequila. Enjoy the fino things in life. Calafino Tequila, proud presenting sponsor of the San Diego Sockers on MASL TV. 4:37 to go. Here's Solis. Time now becoming quite an issue for Sonora. Cerda stepping up on the attack. Aragon nudged aside by Velez, but excellently defended by Barreras to deny a sure counterattack opportunity for San Diego. Eddie Velez running hard, having to run in twos at forward after the Childs injury in the first quarter. Nothing that put him on the turf, but that almost makes you more nervous because he just directly reported essentially to the locker room. We'll get a report on that after the match. 4 minutes left now. And Sonora has to start to think about sixth attacker options. They have distributed a bib on the visitors' bench for a sixth attacker. Target is Cruz. Here goes Rubalcava, and with 3:43 left, we're to sixth attacker. Rosales, the sixth attacker. Farber gets out of trouble. Here's the counterattack. It's Aguirre on the run. Pittman will settle it back. Hearing that from Phil Salvaggio, who applauded the possession decision. Soccer's not worried about style points or point spreads. Here's Cerda. Cerda and Leo. Could this be the 1-2?
Nearly.
Just past the leg of Cerda.
Nearly. Oh.
Escoto stepped in and won for the moment by Pollo. And back now to Raimundo Reza. 3 minutes left to play. 6-3 Sockers. Could Solis get 3 goals in 3 minutes? That becomes the more abiding question in terms of the victory. Pollo. San Diego getting one to Salted. Would be the desired result of the 2,222 four of a kind at Pechanga Arena, San Diego on this Sunday night. Second match of the weekend. And we thank all of you for being here, and we hope to have 2,222 more of you next weekend. With only one match to concentrate the crowd. A little pushing and shoving. Rosales thought it should have been worthy of a card, and he says, back off, man. 2:20, and I need to get this ball in play. Sends it off of the near boards. Dug out, but the foul on Pollo. Stars are going to beat the Fury tonight.
Wow.
Tacoma just tacked one on for 7-5 with 1:11 to play, and will send the Fury to 0-2.
Tough start for Ontario. Likely both losses by just 2 goals.
This one blocked by Pollo for a moment. 6 attackers for Sonora. 2 minutes left to play in the game. Rosales. Murillo in the corner. Pee-wee in there. Pee-wee once again never afraid to battle in close quarters, and he wins those battles. Easy foul to call there on Solis and Enrique Sanchez.
It's one of the easier calls of the night. Kind of just a little clothesline hammer down on Farber. Always a foul.
That block, Arriaga able to pounce on it. Leyva got a toe out to knock down Diego's distribution.
And luckily, in the end of it, he stayed inside his own box. Just was able to just dive
because
back
he was
on
going
top
to
of
grab it either way, I think. As Miller takes it away from Farber, who's wincing on the right kidney. This is over for the shot, blocked away by Pee-wee, who gets clipped hard. That should be a card, and is. A very dangerous challenge by Solis to close this match against a very necessary defender, Pee-wee Ortega.
Get a better look at it here. Over on the far side right here. The swinging leg comes in and makes contact in the end. A dangerous challenge indeed. Blue card, the right called. And again, thankfully, no injury.
That was Sanchez again, by the way, who was a whirling dervish out there on the floor. He had barely played tonight, and he came out there to make a statement in the last couple minutes.
Not the one you want to make, but the Sockers maybe close it out with another goal or just see this thing out.
Well, they've left the 6th attacker on the floor, so they're going to face the Sockers power play, which is even strength-ish.
How about it?
And the Sockers would love to score on this as we reach the final minute. And they get that last Calafino shot. Last call, says the bartender. Final minute tonight.
Rosales.
Great jumping to take it away. You would never see a keeper do that otherwise. But he skipped it out of bounds. Arriaga. Are the Sockers still looking to attack? They are. Open field. Slav has it. Slav, the third touch down the middle. He'll cut it. And a little bit past Escoto. Not exactly where he wanted to put it there.
Slav didn't just drive at goal there.
I thought he would for sure.
Got a short defender and a green penny back there, and one of the best shots in the league.
I haven't seen many shots taken by Slav since he took that cannon. You know, I saw him get a lot of treatment on his left ankle before the match. I wonder. Look at this giveaway. Looking for the chip. It's wide, but the Sockers are a leaky sieve right now. Another try wide and even strength shorthanded-ish.
The soccer gods are just seeing this game out.
Yeah, it looks like 6-3 is how we'll see this one to finish. 4 seconds for Slav to change that. Rosales makes the save at the end.
3 of them.
Full time from Pechanga Arena, San Diego. The Sockers have won 3 in a row. but they did not close out Solis. Solis battles to the end. A 6-3 final that drops the visitors from Hermosillo down to 1-4 on the year, 0-3 on the road. But trust me, they proved a lot tonight, and the Sockers, without their captain Craig Childs, I think it might be fair to say, Nate, got it out of victory tonight.
Yeah, and good to see in a game like this after the chippiness and physicality and cards and scuffles that we saw. Nothing but love, respect, and good sportsmanship on display. So many of these guys knowing each other from past teams and past experiences, playing with one another. And as far as the game goes tonight, yeah, the Sockers losing Childs early, having to battle through, having to gut one out, as you said, and they do so, and they get a clean victory. I almost struggle to use the word clean because there was a lot of chippiness within it, but a 6-3 scoreline, a doubling of the opponent's tally. It's 6-3, it's 3 in a row. There's your cleanliness. You could get into a few dirtier aspects of it, a few of the maybe bumps in the road here tonight, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from a lot of different people. And here's my favorite stat of the night, or I guess the cleanest stat of the night, something that would be music to the ears of most anybody within this Sockers team. A lot of different goal scorers.
Yes.
A lot of guys scoring goals. You had the brace from Eddie Velez, but correct me if I'm wrong, go back to the scoring tally of this game. I think that's the only double goal tally.
Yep, Pollo, Pee-wee, Escoto, and Farber
yeah,
for the other Sockers goals. Melissa May is down on the floor. We'll be hearing from one of our Sockers stars, and we'll be bringing you as well. Okay. Well, in that case, as Melissa, we won't have that post-game interview on the floor, I've just been told. But I know we do have our Calafino top shot of the night.
Oh, well, let's do one of those, you know.
And let's savor the taste.
When in doubt.
Of the top shot of the night. And it's Pollo. It had to be.
Catch one cleaner than that. You're not gonna. And that was after that opening goal rip from Cruz for Sonora. And Ruiz catches this volley oh so sweetly. And anyone who's ever played the game at any level, that's one of those things you always dream of late at night, that perfect volley. And watch this thing. This ball, the assist here from Leo. Watch this barely get over the head of the defender here, who takes that step forward, and it barely gets over in the concentration to still stay focused and catch that right off the laces for Iram Pollo Ruiz. That was a thing of beauty. And a goal fitting to be the shot of the night. A top shot from Calafino.
Top shot brought to you by Calafino Tequila, proud presenting sponsor of your Sockers. Enjoy the Fino things in life. Go to calafinotequila.com today. Pick up a bottle for the holidays. Believe me, your friends will thank you for it. Our next match, holiday game, it's a week from tonight, and Tacoma closed out Ontario tonight 8-5. So a renewed 2-1 Stars side will be visiting San Diego for the first time this season. Last year, in a match on December 21st, Tacoma came in and got a win. It'll be a December 22nd game, and we'll see if this is the time of the year for Tacoma in San Diego. We'll see how that match plays out and bring it all to you live and in sparkling high definition next Sunday at 5 p.m. The following week, again, I can't say it enough, is Star Wars night. First time ever, the Sockers wearing Star Wars themed jerseys. They will auction off those jerseys after the match to benefit the San Diego Food Bank. And you're going to want to get your whole family out here to enjoy that just 9 days after The Rise of Skywalker. Might go check out the film in the theaters and then come here and celebrate Star Wars with us. The following Sunday, we told you this is the first of 4 Sundays in a row, will be Retro Night, our annual Retro Night, and we are honoring the 1989-1990 Sockers this year and wearing their white home jerseys with the yellow collar, the blue shorts, the gold socks, and we'll be selling those jerseys starting on January 5th as well. So a lot of exciting things happening. Make your plans, bring your family, put it on the calendar. The 22nd, the 29th, and January 5th, 4 consecutive Sunday nights. This one's off the board. Sockers beating Solis de Sonora on Beanie Night 6 6-3. Nate, your final thoughts on this one?
A victory for the Sockers that puts them in a good spirit going into the next few days of practice. A 3-game win streak. Last season it was all about win streaks. Maybe we talked a little bit too much about win streaks last year. They're still nice. They can still build momentum within a squad, and seeing 3 in a row after that big speed bump on opening night against the Turlock Cal Express. This team is feeling good right now, and they've done what the coaching staff and the leadership of this team has asked of them. They've cleaned things up defensively. I think the big goal blitzes are going to come. I think we're going to see some double-digit tallies from the Sockers this season. I know we are. I know we're going to see the electric goal scoring and assisting that we love about this team, but when I look at those last 3 defensive performances and I see 3 goals conceded, 2 goals conceded, and another 3 goals conceded tonight, all in wins, that's music to my ears as a broadcaster. I can only imagine how happy the coaching staff is about that, Craig.
Sockers are 3-1. Sockers beat Soles de Sonora 6-3. We want to say thanks to everybody from TVX Sports Video for their tremendous work on tonight's broadcast, led by the executive producer Ted Bendrick, director Andrew Leadham, and producer Randall Sliz, and the rest of the crew.
Go on, Slizzle!
For Melissa May downstairs, for Nate Abarea upstairs, Craig Elston saying thanks so much for spending part of your Sunday night with us. We'll talk to you next Sunday. Sundays are for football, and this one a victorious one for the Sockers as they beat Soles de Sonora 6-3. And now, so long from San Diego.